check out my friend Lee's boxing channel.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. Now, today's video, I'm going to be highlighting Liverpool's own in the UK, Robbie Davies Jr. Now, Liverpool right now is absolutely flying. You got Tony Bellew, you got Callum Smith after his beautiful performance against George Groves. You also got Anthony Fowler, is a guy that Matchroom has a lot of hype around. Some people think he's going to be a very good fighter as well in the pro ranks. You got Darren Till, of course, who's coming off a loss to Tyron Woodley. Nonetheless, his future is going to be very bright. So lots of talent over in Liverpool currently. And today we're going to be talking about Robbie Davies Jr. So in the video, guys, I'm going to talk about his amateur career. I'm going to talk about his family's boxing pedigree, how I kind of got found out about Robbie Davies Jr., and also his skill set and what's next for him in the pro ranks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And also I'll put a little video clip of his style at the end of the video, a short clip, just to kind of show you guys a highlight from his fight so you're aware of what kind of fighter I've been describing here in this video. So I first got into watching Robbie Davies Jr. My friend Chris O'Connor, he's with the British Boxing Board of Control. He put me onto this guy. He said, you got to watch this guy, very talented, exciting fighter. And he was 100% right because he knows his boxing. When I first watched Robbie Davies Jr., he was a guy who had vicious body punching. He was very aggressive, could fight on the inside. And I didn't get to see a lot of his different style of fighting until later on in his career, which I'm going to get into later in this video, guys. Let's jump right into his amateur career first and talk about that because I find that's very important to break down a fighter. So Robbie Davies Jr., he had roughly 80 fights in the amateurs, winning over 70 of them. And he fought high-level competition internationally and also in the UK scene as well, because we see so many talented UK fighters right now. Just to name a few, we got guys like Josh Kelly, you got Josh Taylor, you got Joshua Buatsi. These are just guys right off the top of my head, and there's so many more that are very, very talented fighters coming out of that scene. So he gained a lot of great experience going up against the very best in his own country all the time. So that's definitely going to help him in his pro ranks, and that goes to show you the skills that he has as well. I think is a big part due to his amateur foundation. Now, his father was also a very famous amateur boxer, fighting the 1976 Olympics in Montreal right here in Canada. And that's a famous year as well. There are tons of talent. The sport was excellent back then. It still is now, but the talent back then was unreal. And his father, of course, has a name for himself and very, very popular fighter. And unfortunately, he passed away. Lots of great respect being paid to his father. Very great man from what I've heard from a lot of people and a very exciting fighter. I've never actually seen any of his amateur fights. I'd like to definitely check one of those out one day because I've heard a lot about him. So nonetheless, he comes from a great boxing family pedigree, and rest in peace to Robbie Davies Sr. as well. That affected Robbie Davies Jr. in his only loss of his career, in my opinion, to Mikhail Sorowaka. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything for him, but his father's health was not in good state at that time. Also, he had some issues health-wise leading up to that fight, and ultimately he ended up getting his first loss of his career to Sorowaka, the tough Polish fighter. But Robbie Davies Jr. really learned from that loss, and that's kind of what I like for a young fighter is he had that experience of being in the worst case scenario. He ultimately didn't come out of it, but he came back and he learned from that. And his shape, he was in tremendous shape for that rematch. And even now, currently, if you look at him from a year ago, I posted a picture on Instagram. It's insane, the transformation. You can really tell the work he's been putting in from that loss. And wow, it's incredible to see what he's done. And in that rematch, this is where I talk about his amateur pedigree. Again, I really got to see those skills that he had that I'd heard so much about, and I got to see the whole versatility level of his skill set. In that fight with Sorowaka, he was switching stances. Beautiful straight left hand from the southpaw stance. His left hook to the head and body were vicious. He used counter punching. He had lateral movement. And that's why I think it's very important for fans to really watch his style, because Robbie Davies Jr., he's really a mixed bag of, he can give you a lot of different things. So if you're a boxing fan who enjoys some aggression with body punching and inside fighting, he can give you that at times. If you enjoy fighters who can give you lateral movement, counter punch, fight off the back foot, he can do that as well. or if you're fans who enjoy the versatility of people switching styles, which I always find really hard to do um, in real boxing, so I got a lot of respect for that, like Tyson Fury, Terrence Crawford can do, then you get that kind of style as well from Robbie Davies Jr. Ultimately, guys, all those skills led him to avenge his only loss of his career, stopping Mikhail Sorwaka late in that fight. That guy's name, by the way, is super hard to pronounce. But very excellent performance and excellent rebound by Robbie Davies Jr., stopping the only fighter to ever beat him in his career. Now, looking forward to what's next for Robbie Davies Jr., he's signed a 3-fight deal with Matchroom, and it's well deserved for him. He's a fighter who's been putting on some excellent fights, really fan friendly style, great guy on social media, very, very cool, very humble. And I think, like, you ever talk to this guy, the fans ultimately they love this guy. I mean, he's just like I said, down to earth guy, and very exciting to watch. And in his next fight, he signed that 3-fight deal with Matchroom. Coming up very shortly, his fight with Glenn Foote over in the Newcastle area is going to be an absolute war, and I think this is one of the most underrated and not promoted, or not, I shouldn't say not promoted. It's not talked about by media. The promotion team, Eddie Hearn and them, are doing a great job, but it's actually just not talked a lot about, especially North American media. But this is really, to me, is like an almost guaranteed fight of the night. It's going to be a war, and I can't wait for it. And ultimately, guys, my prediction for that fight versus Foote, I think Robbie Davies Jr. pulls off. I would consider an upset because a lot of people are saying that Foote's going to beat him. But I think with Robbie Davies Jr.'s experience going against Mikhail Sorwaka, a similar style to Glenn Foote, who's a very tough, aggressive, powerful, durable fighter, I think Robbie Davies Jr. learned from that fight, and he's going to make the necessary adjustments and win this encounter in the hostile environment Newcastle. Of course, Robbie Davies Jr. is going to have lots of fans coming over from Liverpool as well. They're great fans, diehard fans. And so ultimately, guys, Robbie Davies Jr., you got to watch this guy. Like I said, I went into all his skill set, and really now he's got that great promotion with Eddie Hearn. He's going to be fighting top-level guys that are household names over in the UK and some of these guys in North America. And not only that, it's a great opportunity as well for Robbie Davies Jr. with Eddie Hearn being on the Zone app. For example, I have this in Canada. I'll be able to watch all his fights as well, and all the other great UK fighters that I'd always have to stream and have poor quality, which was a shame. So I'm really glad that this service is now in place, and I get to see fighters consistently on great streams now on the Zone app. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys, and definitely check out Robbie Davies Jr. and enjoy the clip at the end of the video, guys, and follow him on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Upcoming fight. I'll post the date on here as well, guys. Thank you.